Hi there everyone, welcome back to the channel. Been a bit of a break, obviously because of the international break. I apologise for the lack of content, but it is time for another Palace preview. Season is back and ready to go again on the weekend for the late kickoff, the 5:30 kickoff. Of course, Palace against Manchester City. Cannot wait for this one. It's been a game that in previous years, previous seasons, has actually been not necessarily the best game to watch as a spectator, quite nervy, football not great, but the actual results have been really close, really well fought games, and games that have been record breaking. You know, of course, we ended City's winning streak in Guardiola's Centurion season with City a few years ago. Last season we came close. I think City won 3-1, but it was quite comfortable in the end. But we gave them a run for their money, obviously scoring that free kick by Luka. So we've had close games. That we've never had real batterings at Selhurst Park against City. We've had games obviously last minute in Iheanacho, I think it was 4 seasons ago now. Last minute goal which won them the game 1-0. We've had wins with Jason Punchin's free kick under I believe it was Pardew back then as well. So, you know, we've had these fantastic results against City in the past at Selhurst Park. And even when we've lost, they've been really close, really well fought games. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. Back Premier League back, obviously, from the international break. The run of form that Palace are on at the moment, I think we're coming into this at a great time. Haven't had too many players away on the international duty. We've had, obviously, Zaha was away and a couple of others, but most of the squad were there and stuck together during, obviously, the international break and worked hard in training. So I think there's definitely a buzz around the club at the moment, which is great to see. It's great to see us start a season well and just immediately steer clear of that relegation zone and not have to look over our shoulders at this stage of the season already. And it means that going into this tricky run, obviously the next 5 games we all know is absolutely horrible. But going into it means there's hardly any pressure on us to get any results. It's not like, even if we lose all 5 games, which, let's be real, is a possibility for sure. I think it's quite a strong possibility when you look at who we're playing. We could come out of these next 5 games with 5 defeats, and I think we'd still be in a decent spot in the table, looking at the points we've already gathered and the way teams down near the bottom are dropping points. So no pressure going into this game, of course. Before I go into how I think we'll set up, and then of course the way City I think will play and what we need to do essentially to get any chance of getting a result in this game, let's go into my predicted lineup, which, as always, has been very, very good from me. I have to say, in previous weeks, I've had some really, really good predictions on this. So let's go and check out my starting 11. So as you can see, guys, my starting 11, the one major bit of news will be, of course, Luka coming back into the team. Had that 1 match ban for 5 yellow cards after 7 games. Don't know how you did that. Obviously, we didn't really miss him in the end. We ended up beating West Ham away in that game before the international break, but you've got to have Luka come back into the team. He's the captain of the side. I think we play a lot better with him in the team as well on a consistent basis. So he's the one major introduction to the side that you would probably be expecting. I think most Palace fans would be expecting him back in the team for this game, especially against a big team like City. You need your captain back in there. As you can see, Guaita keeping his place, one of the most underrated keepers in the league, in my opinion, on a probably the best free transfer for a goalkeeper signing anyway, I think, in the Premier League right now. Unbelievable signing. Back 4, I'd keep the same. I'd keep Kelly in there for sure. I don't think Sakho isn't necessarily going to be fit for this one. And even if he is, I still think that Kelly's deserved his starting spot in the team off the back of his performance. I think defensively against West Ham, we were absolutely superb. Apart from a 5-10 minute spell where, of course, West Ham got the goal, I think we could have defended that better. But in the first half especially, we were very, very good defensively, in my opinion. I know West Ham missed some big chances. Don't get a couple of big chances that they probably would have put away on another day, but over the course of the 90 minutes and especially most of that first half, I thought it was brilliant. And I think Cahill's a massive reason for that. Of course, absolutely unbelievable signing he's turning out to be. Can't believe we managed to get him ahead of some other clubs. MacArthur and Chiarte, also the other 2 midfielders. I think although we've got essentially three DMs in the midfield, it is working for us at the moment. You can't deny it. It's working. Chiarte and MacArthur are both kind of box-to-box midfielders as well. They've got the energy in there to literally run the full length of the pitch if they need to, and that's great to have in the side. And then for me, Zaha, I would have Zaha up there. I'd have Townsend just because of his recent performances against City. I know this is not at the Etihad and it's not 35 yards out with the ball necessarily dropping to his feet, but I do think against City, we see the best of Andros Townsend. Obviously an argument for Schlupp to play because he has played well in recent games against City too. And then up front, of course, the main man, Jordan Ayew, who's having a fantastic season. So that's my predicted lineup there, guys. If we're going to get anything out of this game, anything at all, we've got to do exactly what we did. I know it's the Etihad and it's a different season, of course, and different circumstances, but you've got to play. We showed in our game away to City last season the template, how to beat a team like City and Liverpool, essentially. As Liverpool, we came very close. I think we're the only team to score 3 goals last season away to Liverpool. I don't think they conceded that many goals to any other team. So we lost 4-3 to Liverpool, beat City 3-2. And I think scoring 6 goals at those 2 places that we set up in very similar ways. Got to be able to control the wide areas. Definitely against City, they're so dependent on players like Sterling. Obviously, Sané's injured, but players like Sané, Bernardo Silva, those players out wide, so dependent on their wide play. And if you're able to stop them going out wide and get them cutting in or coming narrower to receive the ball and really congesting that midfield and sitting deep, which is what we're very good at, because we don't really play expansive football. We like to set up against the top teams anyway, with 2 banks of 4, essentially old-fashioned style of play defensively anyway, and really control that area of the pitch and make sure there's no space in behind, no space in and around the midfield. And if a player does pick up the ball, bang, you're pressing and you're on him. And that is how we succeeded away at City last year. We're very, very good. No mistakes in the back four. I think if you have any mistakes, you're going to be punished. Players like Aguero will score. They just will score. You know, there's no getting around that. So I think that everyone in that back line has got to have a 9 out of 10 at least performance, 8 out of 10 pushing it performance. And you've got to have no mistakes, of course. But the main thing for me, as I said, get those wide players coming inside, stop using the width. I think that's where Selhurst Park has, which is why City haven't necessarily blown us away at Selhurst Park in the league in recent years, is because of how narrow Selhurst Park is. It's quite when the fans get going, of course, it's an intimidating atmosphere for any away team. And it's a place where, on the counter-attack anyway, we can be effective. Got to be clinical as well, and that has been an issue for us in recent seasons. How clinical can we be against City? I know that we have to be clinical in games like this if we're going to get anything. And we were clinical, to be fair, last season and away at Liverpool. But at the back, we just leaked too many goals against Liverpool to get the result. And, of course, against City, we managed to hold out in the end, but it was obviously very nervy. But that's the thing. The longer it stays 0-0, the longer it stays if we do get an early goal. You never know. The longer we hold a 1-0, the more pressure builds in City, the more they try and force it. And, you know, I can see with players like Cahill in the back line, us being very, very strong mentally in those situations. If we are still 0-0 at, say, 15, 20 minutes up to half-time maybe, then I think that's really good for us, and it can only mean more pressure on City, less pressure on us to hold the 0-0. So that's my thoughts on the game, guys. Of course, comment your thoughts down below. I hope you enjoyed this preview. Before I finish, of course, we've got to hear from a City fan. And I was going to meet up with this City fan. You all know who it's going to be, obviously, from the title. But I was going to meet up, obviously, and it didn't work out, unfortunately. But he has sent in a quick preview for the channel, for this video. It is, of course, Buvey. Check out his thoughts going into this game.
Hi guys, welcome to my preview with Harvey for Palace versus City. Really tough game. Never enjoy going to Selhurst Park. Obviously the atmosphere is brilliant, but the actual football there is really tough. If you guys play 3 DMs like you know the Kiate in midfield, that sort of thing, that's gonna be really hard to break down. From City's side, I know De Bruyne will 95% start this game. In my opinion, I think you have to. You can't risk messing around with 60 minutes, putting him on and we're 1-0 down or something like that. It's a major risk in the Premier League title defence for us. He has to start. De Bruyne and Bernardo in midfield for me, and drop David Silva, drop Gundogan, play Mahrez on the right. He's had a great international break with Algeria, scored a couple of absolute worldies. And I think we can get back to it. I think if Mendy starts as well, he's a major threat. Hopefully you guys don't injure him like you did last time. And John Stones will probably miss this game, so it looks like it's Fernandinho, Otamendi at the back as well. And with that lineup, if we can get Mahrez on the ball, Obviously, De Bruyne can do anything with the ball in his day. Bernardo needs to step up, in my opinion. We should have enough to get through Palace, but look, the way Roy Hodgson's got you guys playing, you're looking up. Palace fans are looking at the Champions League spots. No, I'm joking, obviously, but you're in the top 6, so it's looking great for Palace. And it's never been harder to go to Selhurst Park by the looks of things. I think you're settled. I think your fans are happy with where you are, what you're doing, with the money you spend as well. It's an incredible achievement to be in the top 10, let alone in the top 6 for Palace. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm not going to be doing any reaction if City lose. I quit football. I think it's the end of the title race if we don't pick up maximum points from now until, well, obviously the Liverpool game, and then beyond that. I think it's that much of a title race now that the heat's on early in the season. We have to be beating teams like Palace. Easier said than done, obviously, based on what happened last season at the Etihad. So hopefully no Andros Townsend worldies. Hopefully we can squeeze through a 1-0 win. That's what I would like, a classic 1-0 win for City. Keep the ball, keep it moving around a little bit, and just show why we're the champions of England, and get back onto we basically need an 8 to 10 winning game streak at least to even get close to the Premier League title, which shows you how good Liverpool are. So yeah, see you guys soon.
So thank you so much for that, Buvey. Love hearing his thoughts on the game. Not as much gas in that one, but I think I appreciate that. He realises it's going to be a tough game, of course, and I think that it will be a close and hard-fought game. If City take the lead early, I think that we should really write off the result and just look to, stay resolute at the back and try not to see us leak goals. If we can keep it 0-0 or get an early lead, you never know. It's one of those games, you never know. But as I said at the start of the video, there's no pressure on us whatsoever. I'm predicting we're in good form at the moment. We're in good spirits, high spirits. Let's stay positive. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. It will not be a 2-2 draw, but I really like to see us get some goals in this one. And I think we can, because City's defence isn't as strong as it was last season, in my opinion, especially with the injuries they got at the start of this season, which is unfortunate for them, but it's beneficial for us, of course. So I think that with the defensive areas that City definitely have at the back, if you can put the pressure on them in the right areas, this is a great chance for us to get a result in a game that we're not expected to get a result. Fingers crossed we can. Obviously, guys, comment your thoughts on the game down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, both City fans and Palace fans, of course, but City fans especially. I'd like to hear your thoughts as an opposition team. Your thoughts are going to Selhurst Park. Can't wait for this 5:30 kickoff. I will be there. Hopefully, I'll see some of you guys at the ground. Be sure to comment below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you to Buvey for his thoughts on the game as well. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on Saturday.